Hey guys, what's up? It's Lexi Lane on here letting you guys know that my new single Serpent drops on all streaming musical platforms September 15th. That's my bacon right now. What's yours?
Hey,
Where are we?
at a Perkins in somewhere, Pennsylvania.
Why are we doing that? Weren't we supposed to be on a plane?
We were supposed to be on a plane. We're supposed to be on a first class plane.
Yeah.
But now we are, I don't know what class this is. We ain't got no class right now.
We got that bad boy.
We do.
But we should be excited. You know why?
Well, because we get to listen to a bunch of really cool podcasts.
Yeah, on the Deluxe Edition Podcast Network.
That's right.
If you go to Deluxe Edition Podcast Network.
DeluxeEditionPodcastNetwork.com.
Yes.
You can find out all their podcasts.
Yeah.
Check it out.
And we're gonna start driving now.
What's your bacon?
Stick around to the end of the episode, and then maybe you'll figure out what the hell's going on here.
Yeah.
So this is
There's a
right behind us, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and a little below that is a parking garage where there are tons of Browns and Bengals fans. They were playing rooftop football this morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's where we are.
My room has not a view like this.
Well, it's got this view, but it's not like you can't just look directly out and see that. And that's why we don't have that in the background.
Right.
Because you have to be at a certain angle.
Well, my room's down there, so I have a view of the street, and I cannot see that Rock Hall.
Oh.
Donna's football season starts tomorrow, so she could give a shit about the Browns or the Bengals.
Jets, I'm guessing.
Or their fans.
I'm guessing it's the Jets.
Is it the Jets tomorrow?
Monday Night Foosball.
Are we all thinking they're going to do really well this year?
It's September, so of course. It's of course. New York football
Or the Jets really have a chance?
New York football, New York baseball, New York basketball, beginning of the season. Everybody's high spirits.
Yeah. Don't they play in Jersey?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, they do.
Weird.
I think it's one of those things though where
Making enemies.
I think the reason why they play in Jersey is because Jersey keeps going, the Statue of Liberty is ours.
Right.
And we go, you have a big dump here.
Right.
Let's make a big stadium and we'll put our teams there.
Mm-hmm.
So this way it gives you, at least you have something.
Right. Right. Statue of Liberty is ours.
That's their claim.
Good. You clean it.
All right. Well, I think we should start the show.
All right.
I feel like the football thing really would have. Look, I'm reaching over because I got to do this by a laptop. No,
Look at you
slumming it. Welcome to Bacon's My Podcast, live from Cleveland. Here's the intro.
Yeah.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Hey, bud.
What's up?
Guess what time it is?
Fall.
Yes. You know what that means? That means that the trees are shedding their leaves.
Indeed, indeed. You know what does not shed leaves automatically?
Testicles, and cheeks.
Right. So it is time for some fresh ball fall action.
Yeah.
My friends.
Manscaped, the Lawnmower 4.0, featuring their patented skin-safe technology.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, if you're not using Manscaped yet, what are you waiting for? Come on.
And what do your balls look like? Ooh.
Right? It's got an LED light, so if you're worried about nicking something or not being able to see, you don't have to worry. The lawnmower has it.
Shave in the dark.
Exactly. It's waterproof.
It is waterproof.
Go into the shower. If you don't want to make a mess outside the shower, go in the shower.
Shave in a dark shower.
Yeah, you can do that with Manscaped. If you go to manscaped.com, use the promo code BACONPOD, it'll give you 20% off and free shipping.
Free shipping.
And it's not even just for the lawnmower.
No, it's for everything. You can get the crop mops, shampoo, they have body soap, they have lotions, all kinds of things. Check it out, manscaped.com. If you can't remember the promo code, just jump over to baconismypodcast.com and check out our sponsors page.
Always remember to clean your testicles, your chesticles, and your cheeks with Manscaped.
Yeah, man. What's your bacon?
Yeah.
Hello, Cleveland.
What's going on, Ziggy and everybody? Welcome, Bacon is my podcast.
Yeah.
And drinks. It's 10:59.
It's a balmy.
Yeah, it's a little icky out.
It's a gray and wet morning. Here in
Jimmy
Cleveland,
and I came to Cleveland because we had a little work to do.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, we should do discussions from Cleveland.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah,
We had a great discussion with a doctor last night, all
Yes.
about like music and like guitar playing and metal and all this kind of stuff with one of the
big Dream Theater guy.
Yeah. So we won't be bringing you that, but that would have been great.
That would have been really
That
good.
would have been a
That would have been really good.
good one.
Talking about all the different like metal beers
Yeah,
that there were.
yeah. The Iron Maiden beer.
Megadeth, by the way, guys, Megadeth has a beer.
Yeah.
Not even just a beer, like a line of beers.
Right.
I had no idea.
There's a Tout Le Monde beer.
Yeah. And what is it? It was the Hangar 13 beer, but what was it called? It was
I don't remember.
Saison 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want beer can with Vic Rattlehead on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we had that discussion last night, and that was a lot of fun. Would have been really good to put it here, but
Would have been all you guys
We,
would have loved it. But yeah, you just get the two of us.
it was weird though. Like I feel like in that situation, I don't know how would we ask him. Like he's a cool enough guy,
Yeah.
but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy where we go, "Hey, bud, come up to our room and record a podcast."
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's got to be a way to ask people to do that. That's
Not creepy.
casual.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, want to come up to my hotel room? I'm put on a camera. We'll just drink a little bit and talk.
Right, exactly.
Like all of that just sounds wrong.
Also, he is he's a beer drinker.
Yeah.
And he is a beer drinker. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't last long.
No. No.
Because we hung out with him the night before, and before we were like halfway done with our beers, he would come back
Well, yeah.
with more beer.
Yeah, and we became beer drinkers because we're whiskey drinkers, as you guys know. And while we were drinking our whiskeys, they closed the bar, and he went to the little
kiosk
area in the hotel and bought a bunch of beers and came back with beers for us. And it was like, okay, I guess we're drinking beer now.
Yeah, I would have been good with one, and he just kept going back for more.
Yeah.
Until we were finally like, hey, we're gonna have to wake up tomorrow. And
Right. Yeah, this was the day before the event that we had to work.
Yeah. But yeah. All in all, it was good. I slept wrong yesterday. and it sucked so bad.
Dude, he walks into the like I see him in the morning and he's like, if you're only listening to this, sorry, I'll do my best to describe it. But like we had like his shoulders were up and his head was cocked a little to the side, and he was just like, yep, can't move.
It was
If I move, it shoots into my brain. I can't do it.
it was weird. It's like this weird nerve thing where if I moved a certain way, you just literally feel this pain shock
Dude,
go all the way up your neck
that's awful.
and into your brain. And I'm thinking to myself, I have to do stuff. How am I supposed to just do stuff here?
Yeah, I felt bad. Every time I looked at you, I was just like, oh man, I just want to see that shoulder drop. Then I know.
Yeah.
Then I know it's all right. Like once the shoulder goes down.
Well,
Like,
I
okay.
will say my mom gave me that CBD,
Yeah, I was gonna say ask
Cream.
if that's what that was.
and that helped. That
Nice.
helped a lot.
Okay,
it,
good.
it helped loosen it up. I think that helped loosen up the muscles. Like for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening, I was still getting that like that twinge when you turn a certain way, and it kind of like brain zap. It was fucked up. But I'm happy to report I slept really well last night.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
I'm able to function today. It's pretty great.
I slept pretty well. I slept pretty well last night as well. Last night, for all of you listening, I introduced Mike to the show Peacemaker. I mean, he knew the show existed, but I knew
the show existed.
I also chose it as our thing to watch.
I also had all intentions of watching it.
Right.
Because if you go to my iPad, you download things to go on a plane.
Right.
So on Thursday, I downloaded the second 2 episodes because it wouldn't let me download the first episode.
Right.
And I had all intentions to watch the first episode, especially since our flight was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, I passed out.
That happens.
Edibles.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's definitely that happens.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't get to watch the first episode, but we watched the first 2 episodes. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very good.
I love it. I love that. So I will be downloading episode 3 and 4.
And enjoying those in our first class flights home.
Yeah, man. I think
bam.
So
my
travel
first time
woes.
is first class.
Me too.
Me
too. We were supposed to fly in here. Well, before we get into that, we do have drinks. It's brunch time.
It's 11 a.m. and we are going to drink
high noons.
High noons. I've never had a high noon.
I haven't had a high noon. I know all the kids are drinking it now.
Pineapple vodka and soda. I guess the camera's up there. That's stupid.
This is all the rage now.
Yeah, I've heard.
The kids love it.
I've heard things.
And I saw people walking around with them all last night and the night before. I don't know what was going on the night before, but there were people walking around all dressed up. There was a Madonna that was crawling all over the floor and
there was
groping herself.
There was some kind of 80s ball I saw.
Oh, okay.
They had last night. They had the goth homecoming.
Well, I didn't see anybody dressed.
Well, no, but the 80s ball was closer to here.
Oh,
it was at a place that was closer to here.
All right.
It was all people from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah.
Well, they had the Trader Joe's shirts on.
Well, one of the guys came up. He was all dressed up, and he was like, "Are you guys from Trader Joe's?" And I was like, "No, but I've shopped there." And he was like, "Thanks, man." And I was like, "All right." Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah. My highlights were seeing the woman dressed as Elvis, which is the 80s.
She was great.
Yeah, she wasn't 80s though.
No, she wasn't 80s.
And then the Madonna.
The Madonna
we
good.
bumped into.
There were 2 Madonnas. There was the one Madonna where they lifted up the closed gate of the coffee place.
Yes.
And she slid underneath as like a bet, I guess.
Yeah.
Because she was like, "Yo, owe me $100 now." And then they lifted it up and they grabbed her legs and pulled her back through.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. That was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was interesting. So she probably had a lot of these. So vodka with real fruit juice, sparkling water, and natural flavors. Natural flavors is one of Jimmy's favorite things.
Suspect.
And it's only 4.5%.
Made with real vodka, real fruit juice, and sparkling water. The easy drinking, always socializing. Great tasting, sun toasting, blue sky celebrating, memory making awesomeness in a can hard seltzer.
Wow, look at this fucking guy.
Look at that. Get out and enjoy. No high fructose corn syrup.
Oh.
No artificial flavors.
Wait, is there aspartame? Oh, if there's aspartame, I'm gonna be so sad. So sad. There's no ingredients.
Yeah. You'll know as soon as you drink
No
it.
sugar added.
Timeout.
Yeah.
Have you guys checked out baconismypodcast.com yet?
It's like the portal to everything Bacon is My Podcast. It's got episodes, it's got music,
Yeah.
it's got swag,
Yeah.
and it has a portal to all of our sponsors, our awesome sponsors like GrillYourAssOff.com, Drink Wild Bills, Manscaped, and of course, Mythical Beards.
Mythical Beards, yeah. So check it out. I mean, you can just, from one page, find so many things.
Yes.
Right? Check out our swag. Check out their swag. get those discount codes, and just, help out the show.
Exactly. And always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
Yep.
Hey, this is Casey Shearer.
And this is Ray.
Do you like pop culture?
We're pretty sure you do.
Then come on over and check us out at deluxeedition.show.
You will not be sorry. Or maybe you will be. I don't know.
That's
It's all right.
it's like a seltzer.
Yeah.
It's
I bet
I
it's
want
going
to say salty.
You know what? Yeah. I wonder if that's just us being slightly dehydrated.
No, I had like 4 bottles of water last
you?
night,
Okay,
plus
so
the
it's not bad.
Powerade.
I did have the Powerade too. Yeah.
It's salty. Unless somebody sweat on the top of it.
Mm.
And that first sip was just somebody's sweaty forehead.
No, because it's the aftertaste that gives you that salt.
Okay.
It's more of like it gives you the salt thing that happens on your tongue.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like savory in a weird way.
I would give this a 4.
I'd give it a 4 right now, but for some reason I think this is one of those things that as we drink it, we're gonna like it more.
Second sip was definitely better than the first.
Yeah.
But there's the salt.
So I think by the end, and maybe it's they want it to be like of the sea.
Of the sea.
Yeah, because it's a summer drink. It's beachy, so they give you that little bit of salt, so you feel like you're like, hey man,
Well, they put fucking sand in it while they're
tropical. It's tropical. Well,
at it. Hey, salt's gonna ruin this. Let's just throw some sand in here too.
the sand would ruin it more. Maybe there's sand at the bottom.
Maybe there's sand on the top.
There could be sand on the top. There's probably rat piss on top.
Probably.
Honey
I don't know.
tequila is a good one. That's what Donna says
I haven't.
in our live room from our
Yes.
patrons. So if you are listening on Spotify or whatever, even if you're watching it, if you're seeing this at some point and you're like, who do they keep referencing? We got a live room here with our patrons over at Patreon. We do this live for them every week.
Yeah.
Or try to do it every week.
Yeah. Well,
At 11 a.m.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it for you.
Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna get to fly first class today. So the reason why we're doing it early is because this is the time that. So last night we were gonna do it,
Right.
and then we got into the discussion with the doctor,
Right.
and we weren't gonna cut it short because then he started buying drinks.
Right. So then it was like, we'll hang
It's
out.
like, okay, we'll hang out
We'll
with
hang
him.
out.
He was cool anyway.
Yeah.
But
I did enjoy when he went to go buy us a round and was like, is this the right price for a round?
why does it say 4 James?
Why did it say 4 Jamesons? And it was like, oh, because you just asked her for another round and we got doubles.
Yeah. That happened.
I bought the last round. You bought the one before. That's how rounds go.
Doesn't hey, listen. Just because you drink 28 $6 beers,
Yeah. You know,
that's
that adds up.
yeah, right. But yeah, we're getting to. So long story short, we ended up. I was tired last night, and Jimmy was scolding me for being tired the whole time. Being precious. Oh, you want to go upstairs to your room? Are you
Yeah.
gonna fall asleep on me?
Yeah, I was definitely giving you some passive aggressive shade.
Yes. Yes. I was so fucking tired from the day before. The day before,
I was like,
just
yo, you want to
killed
go to
me.
this punk club? Yeah, you want to go to this? You want to go to this goth coma coming ball? You want to go?
Well, that I don't know if I would like. I mean, I just feel really uncomfortable there
Yeah,
because we've been when we were in Seattle, we were at this like weird club
right.
that had the same vibes, except that like for some reason there was like a goth room, but then there was also a high school reunion happening
Yeah.
that was like 90s music, but then there was a pregnant mannequin hanging off the wall.
Dude, so awesome.
Yeah, I was just tired. I was really tired. It was a long a long day.
Yeah.
It was a long day.
It was
Plus
a
my
long
neck thing and everything.
It was.
So-
Hey, man, I didn't push you to go out at all. I I just said, all right, well, okay, crybaby, we're gonna let's
man.
go upstairs.
Yeah.
And I said the next trip we're finding a dive bar.
Well, no, we usually do though.
I know.
I'm like,
just have to give you some little shit.
you always gotta give me shit.
Little shit.
So yeah, we didn't get to do it tonight. So last night. So today, this morning, we leave at around 7, and we have first class seats. But we were supposed to leave. We were supposed to come in on Thursday, but about 2.5, 3 hours before our flight left, I got a message from American Airlines saying, "Hey, your flight's been canceled."
Oh, we're gonna shade American Airlines right now.
Yeah, fuck American Airlines. Fuck American Airlines.
Let's hashtag this shit. We'll get some free things.
Yeah, we should.
Because you know what? They were not accommodating to you at all.
Well, no. So we had a 7 p.m. direct flight to Cleveland, right? It's what we paid for. It's what we asked for. That's what we want. And oh yeah, that was been a bad choice.
I almost back to back some cold brew after a high noon.
And
sorry, go on.
And so yeah, I called up. I'm like, hey, this is a situation. We got to get there. We have to get there by tomorrow because we have to set up. And at that point, it was like, okay, well, we're going to be setting up between 10 and 3.
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. We need to get there. American. So now American and JetBlue are working together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to book something with JetBlue, it might be an American flight. So that's what happened here. So when I found out that it was American, I said, oh, you know what? Maybe I should just order through American.
Right.
And I went to go do that.
Cut out the
It was
middleman.
more expensive. It was more expensive ordering directly through American than it was through JetBlue, in turn sending me to American. How does that make sense?
Yeah, like that confuses me even to try and go backwards and around to try and make that make sense.
Right. Exactly. So there was that. Then you had, so I call up American,
mm-hmm.
and they were like, oh, well, I'm having a hard time finding your stuff because you ordered it through JetBlue. I said, because I saved $300 doing that.
Right.
That's why I did that.
Right.
And he said, okay, well, let me put you on different flights and let me see what we can do. So the first flight he gave was that day at like 7:30. We'd fly out, go down to Charlotte, have 30 minutes to go from the gate in Charlotte to another gate
mm-hmm.
for a plane headed to Cleveland.
Now, those of you that are frequent flyers, those of you that have been to Charlotte, to their airport, 30 minutes of a layover. I know when you're booking flights, here's a little hot tip for you when you book flights and you have to do a layover and you're like, oh, I want quick of a layover. I don't want to be there for hours, right? 30 minutes, you're missing that flight.
Yeah.
You're missing that flight. There's no way to guarantee that your flight can land, taxi, find a place to unload everybody, get everybody out. Then you figure out what gate you're going to and get to that gate in time for the other plane that is boarding. And then
right, it's already boarding.
Right.
Because 30 minutes prior, they start boarding. So,
you're missing that flight. Don't do it when you're booking.
Right.
Hot tip.
So
don't do that.
So that was the first option. And then the second option was the next day, even though I told him that we have to be there by like 11, 12 o'clock, the latest, on Friday. He goes, okay, well, we can do one from Newark, New Jersey, which was not New York.
Right.
Newark, New Jersey. You will you take off at noon. So already not there in time.
Right.
You take off at noon. You fly to DC. So that's a hour flight,
if that,
maybe.
Yeah.
And then you make it into Cleveland by 7. I said, well, wait, how long is the layover
Yeah.
then? And also, how do you have a DeLorean in Cleveland when I land at 7? So this way I can turn back time and be there at 12, like I had said.
Like I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
I asked if he had
We
any.
could have driven there.
Right.
We could have driven here in less time.
Yeah. So, long story short, he goes, well, those are all I can really offer you. And I said, well, that's extremely non-accommodating. You partner with JetBlue. Is there anything they can do? This, that? No. I said, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to ask for a refund and I'll just rebook somewhere else. Also, I was looking at other American flights.
Right.
And there were other American flights that would have gotten us here earlier.
Of course.
And I would ask him, I'd say, what about this flight? And he said, it's full. I was like, well, I can order the tickets right now on my computer.
Right, because they'll overbook, which we find out.
Well, yeah. And he said, oh, well, it's fully booked. I said, well, I can order the tickets right now. So if you can't book it, then just give me my refund. Then I find out, oh, well, we can't give you the refund. You ordered through JetBlue.
Jesus.
All right, cool. So they send me over to the JetBlue side. I'm sitting there for about a half hour, and they finally pick up, and the lady goes, so what are you looking to do? I said, I just want a refund. They're not giving me anything that can accommodate my needs. I'm just going to rebook. She said, okay, no problem. Has me on the phone for 20 minutes on hold. Comes back and goes, okay, so your flight from Cleveland to New York has been refunded. I said, okay, well, what about the problem?
We're halfway there. Yeah.
Well, American has taken over your flight and rebooked it. I said, what do you mean they rebooked it? I told them I didn't want them to. Oh, well, they automatically had it in the system and they rebooked it. And it was that flight from New York to DC to
Right.
I said, well, I don't want that. I told them I did not want that. I want a refund. She said, well, because they took over the ticket, you're going to have to talk to American and get the refund through them.
Right.
So then they send me back to American for another half hour. And long and short of it, we ended up getting our money back, and we ended up getting we're flying Delta, and we were
Right. A third airline.
flying Delta, and just so happened that the stars aligned for us because the flight out was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the flight out was the expensive part, because it's like so last minute. It's less than 24 hours.
Right.
The flight back, not so much. And somehow, for an additional $5 each, we got first class.
First class.
And that's what we'll be doing today. We're going to hold our pinkies up. We're going to put our little sleep masks on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be the riffraff in the...
That's right. We're gonna harshly judge everyone walking into the back of the plane.
Cool.
I'm like,
Cool
oh,
coach seat, bro.
hang out in the trough.
See, I haven't flown Delta in a little while. Like they have the main cabin, they have Comfort Plus, they have like the economy coach.
Yeah.
Now I've flown Delta, and I was in the main cabin, and I remember going, these seats are really small.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did Comfort Plus on the way here.
Those seats were small.
Those seats were very small.
Yeah.
Like I was very surprised by how small those seats were.
Yeah. No AC either. It was great. No AC, small seats, dog behind us, child in front of us.
Yeah. Two children.
2 children. Right.
One was an infant.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very unsatisfied with their beginning of their flight, but then they settled down.
Yeah.
Which was good. which I don't get mad at parents with the kids.
No,
I'm like,
because they
you got to keep that.
right.
Like, once I'll never think about you again when I leave here.
Yeah.
You got to take that home with you. And it's still going to make those noises.
Although the kid wasn't bad.
No,
They weren't bad.
Not at all.
My kids were like the first flight we did with Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was like, oh my God, I'm that parent the whole flight, because he just couldn't, the pressure and stuff was like fucking with him and stuff. So yeah,
Poor kid.
yeah
We took one flight with Bruce and he just slept.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was like, he was good. Or no, 2 flights. I took one and then Nanny took one. And he was just silent both times. We put him in a little bag, threw him under the seat.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good old Bruce.
Yes. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
He had a birthday.
Yeah.
He had a birthday this week.
Yeah.
He's now, I think, 7.
That's awesome, man.
I think 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my little dude.
You didn't throw any birthday party or anything? You were in Cleveland.
I was in Cleveland. Yeah, I think Stacy probably did something for him, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. Stacy's the best.
She is the best.
She's great. All right, quick timeout. I want to let everybody know that despite the summer being gone and heading into the fall, does not mean that grilling season is over.
No, if you have a grill, it is always grilling season.
I feel like it's just getting started, and if you're grilling, if you're cooking, if you're doing any of that, make sure you do that with grillyourassoff.com.
Taste the freedom.
Exactly. Grill Your Ass Off is an awesome company. It is made in Texas. It is veteran-owned, and they were Small Business of the Year.
Yeah, Veteran Small Business of the Year 2023, which is awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
They also just partnered with Sailor Jerry. Now, rum may be my personal avoid at all costs booze, but some people really love it, and I guess I have to admit, even at its worst, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's a new Sailor Jerry Ironsides barbecue sauce that you can check out too. And anything that you decide to get at grillyourassoff.com. You want a deal? You want a special? You want some money off? Use the promo code.
Bacon. Because everything's better with bacon.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Come on. 10% off. Get it on all of their jerkies, all of their seasonings, all of their condiments, even their swag. Their swag is pretty sweet.
Yeah, spread some seasoning on those swags.
So definitely head over to grillyourassoff.com, use the promo code BACON for 10% off, and always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
Hi, I'm Dawn Brody, a comedian with a history degree and the host of the podcast HILF, History I'd Like to Fuck. Each episode, I am joined by a new guest who has brought me a subject from history that they want to know more about. Then I hit the books, I dig deep in the annals, and stimulate. We've covered Frankenstein, Houdini, Joan of Arc, Pompeii, the Salem witch trials, right? Join us and find out for yourself that history is a party and everybody's coming.
So we are on a trip. We talked about bad flight situation. What about some? I saw a lot of hotel shenanigans this week.
Yeah.
You got any hotel shenanigans stories?
Hotel shenanigans stories. Man. I gotta get back to you.
All right. Well, I have one that involves a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, that recently sent me a message.
Oh, here we go.
Because he was like, yo, I listen to your show all the time. You tell stories. You don't talk about me at all. And I am a huge part of your life.
Well, so that's a better transition.
Yeah.
Because I like talking about this and yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So so my buddy Dave, whatever you want to call him, he is one of my best friends, and he and I were inseparable. When I moved to New York, I moved here. I lived with my buddy Brian, and we did music for a while, and then we kind of split up to kind of do our own things. And I was playing. I signed with this dude that was managing me, named Mark Silver. He had Third Stone Productions. And what he would do is he would manage songwriters, and he would put together showcases for them. And he put a band together to play the songwriter's songs. So it would be the same band all night. And each singer would go up and do like 3 or 4 songs. And each singer was responsible for like selling tickets and promoting and all that kind of stuff. And we would do the Elbow Room in the city. And so it was great. It was really cool. It was, we always had like 100 people there or more. You know, it was always a good turnout, and it was usually like 4 or 5 singers and different styles, mostly like pop, and then me. I was like his rock guy, and I got that through answering an ad in the backstage. Right, it was this management company looking for musical acts, and I was like, oh, I'll send my stuff in. And so while I was doing that, I started to kind of like create a little bit of a fan base. And I also had friends that I met at the Fashion Institute, and they were bringing friends. And so I had a good little crowd that was coming. And they were like, oh, we have to introduce you to this friend of ours. Right, he plays bass and he's in a band, and you know he's in a tribute band or something, and he wants to be in a band. And so they brought Dave to the show, and he came with another friend of his, and I played my songs and everything. And the first thing he said to me was like, "It's a little light." I was like, "All right, cool, man. Well, if you're not into it, you're not into it."
Like you were auditioning for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which honestly, I kind of felt like I was like, he came in looking all cool, you know, like it was kind of like when we saw each other, we were like, we dress the same. We both have a similar thing going on. We like a lot of the same music. And he was just, you know, he was looking to get into something a bit heavier. And the stuff I was doing at the time was not, you know, it was like, well, if anybody has the Sick as Monday record or listens to any of that, that was that band. It was songs that would end up on that. And so we hung out that night, got trashed together that night, made completely inappropriate jokes to each other, pulled pranks on each other, all that stuff in one night. It was kind of like we were treating each other like we'd been friends since birth.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like worked.
It's basically like your stepbrother's moment.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Karate in the garage. Absolutely that moment.
We're going to build bunk beds.
Yeah. And from that point, we were pretty much, I would say, inseparable for the next probably five or so years.
Yeah.
We started Sick as Monday together. We met our guitar player through another ad. He knew Jimmy, and so he brought Jimmy in as a drummer and to record us and stuff. And it really, like, we were kind of like, the band really became this big focus, and it was him and I were both like ride or die type guys for that, which was awesome. We also got each other into a lot of trouble because we just had that like let's go mindset. So it was like we were drinking everywhere. We were at every show. We were like, we have to be seen everywhere, and people have to recognize us the minute we walk into a room, because that's how we're going to get our band somewhere. So every bar we walked into, somebody knew us because we were at every bar. Every venue, somebody knew us. We were handing out our CDs and stickers and everything in every line for every single show. We were at every show. We were seeing every band. And we just became like, it was like Jimmy and Dave were like this thing, you know. We were a force of nature for a little while that people either loved or hated.
You were two people that people either love walking into a room or love watching leave.
Yeah. And that's when you met us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you met us when we were at the height of our powers. Oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, why?
Oh,
I thought you.
I didn't even think about it.
Oh man,
I didn't even think about it.
This is
Oh! That was a mistake. Okay.
For all those listening, Jimmy just took a high noon sip and then took a coffee sip.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. My hand just went to it.
You can at least have a palate cleanse or something.
Nah. Blah blah blah. All right. So yeah, we were fun, you know, like every time we get together still, it's a blast. We end up, it's 5 a.m. somewhere and we're at a diner laughing about something and did something stupid that night. Like even if we got together today, that would probably be how it'd end up.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, any of you that have had that friend that your parents are like, I don't know if I like that you're hanging out with them. Like we were each other's that as adults. I think my mom was even like, I don't know. Like, you're getting in trouble with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little did she know. I was often the one talking us into things.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
So to run that into a hotel story. Well, anyway, so Dan leaves me a message. I wonder if I still have the message.
Yeah, because it was funny because he brought this up when we landed in Cleveland, and he goes, "Yeah, I got a random message from Dave the other day." And oh, you got it?
I do, and it's great. So here's the transcription because I'm going to read this to you first, and then I'm going to let you hear it in his voice. Or no, you know what? I'm going to let
Just let him.
I'm going to let you hear it first. All right.
You know, Dad, I listen to your podcast every freaking day. I would like you to talk about me a little bit more. I was the most important person in your life. Well, except for your mother and sister, of course. Well, you don't have a sister, so your brothers don't count. But I was the most important. I am the most important in your life. Talk about me more. I love you, bro. Call me.
That was even more epic than you had described in the airport.
Right? It's so great. It's so great. So I got that message the other day, and I told you, I was like, you know, we talk about our bands and we talk about everything, but we talk about a lot of our current stuff. And I've had Craving Strange for so long now that even stories from like 5 years ago and 10 years ago are Craving Strange stories,
right?
You know, and I joked about this a couple times. Your sister actually brought it to my attention the other night when we were talking. She was like, "You've like lived legit like a number of different fully realized lives." I was thinking about it. I was like, I really have, because I have this like, you know, this whole life in Indiana that I had, and the experiences I've had, and all that kind of stuff. And then there was when I first moved to New York, and the whole life of being in New York and meeting the people at the Fashion Institute and becoming part of like the scene out here. And then there's and that was a whole thing. And then there was the Sick as Monday stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was, and I think because even if it's only a short time, I throw myself so fully into everything that it just, that is who I am during that period. And then when something else comes, like I'm always the same guy, but it's like just different aspects of what I'm doing at the time. And yeah, like Dave was the most important person in my life for a very long time. And he's still very important. We just don't get to talk or hang out as much because he's in Florida now. But once I got that, I was like, there's so many stories that I had with him. And one I will share with you now. We got booked to do something called Crew Fest, and it happened to be here in Ohio.
Yeah.
And so Crew Fest was put on, and it was a benefit show to raise money for what's called the Skylar Neal Foundation. Now, Vince Neal's daughter, Skylar, died of a cancer. And when she was like just a little kid, right? And so there's the Skylar Neal Foundation, and it raises money for pediatric cancer. And so they put together this show, and it was Vince Neal also has a son. His name is Neil. Neil is not Vince Neal's real last name, so no, he didn't name his son Neil because that would be a dick move. So his son Neil was putting together a band, and he was going to perform at it, and then a number of like local bands were set to perform for it. And someone that had seen us in New York, and it was very like if you saw the movie Rockstar, it was a very thing like that, where someone saw us in New York when they were in New York. They took video of our show and they showed it to somebody here that loved us and was booking the show and contacted us and was like, would you guys come to Cleveland and play this show? And I was like, fuck, I got family in Cleveland. Like I know Cleveland. We were touring as much as we could. So it was like, yeah, we'll book a tour, get to Cleveland, go back. So we came here to do this Crew Fest, and it was an awesome show. It was packed. Some of my memories from the show, we all had to learn one Motley Crue song. So we learned "Looks to Kill" because it's awesome. Right. Neil's band was not great. So we actually pulled him up on stage and played another Crue song, and he sang with us. Because I'll be honest, we stole that fucking show. But we were a band on the road, so we were like road tight and stuff like that too. So he had hired people, and then there was local bands. So yeah, we stole the show. Whatever. I'm not going to apologize. We had at the time our merch was fantastic. We had, we were Sick as Monday, so we had shirts that just said "sick" on them. Yeah, like Chiller font. Everyone, Chiller font. Everybody remembers the Chiller font. And we had these little beanie hats that said "sick" across the forehead, which also great, like embroidered sick snow hats. And this was an all ages show, and everybody had kids there because it's a benefit for and everybody, like, it seemed like everybody had little daughters because we sold out of it. Was one of the biggest merch things we've ever done. We made more money on merch than maybe ever. We sold out of all these little pink sick hats. And so when we were playing, it was like a sea of like pink hats jumping up and down.
That's awesome.
And it looked like little pencil erasers.
That's awesome.
Which was amazing to me. It was, it's like those shows that are like, you have those every now and then where it's like everything just kind of like works. Yeah. Right. And so that was the experience we had. And they put us up in a hotel. Yeah. And they thought we were rock stars. So they were like, we need to have booze. We're going to like, all the people were in the same hotel, and like this whole floor of the hotel was all people that went to this thing. And so I got to experience like my crazy, like at one point, Dave ran through the halls naked. At one point I was pushing him on a cart through the hallways while he was trying to keep drinking. I was naked at some point somewhere too. Like it was just booze and running into people's rooms and pushing into elevators, like on carts, and like the staff just being like, no, why? It was just this crazy loud, like decadent hotel party. We didn't destroy anything other than people's memories, probably. But it was just a really, it was a really fun time. And I think there's still videos somewhere of Dave running down the hall naked, which if you listen to this show and you have that, please send it to me so that I can have it and just let him know that I have it. Because that would be fantastic.
That'd be great.
Right. So wanted to talk about you, buddy. And I will say to his credit, I would not be. I don't know if I would be doing everything that I am right now had I not had the experience with him, because I learned a lot, and he was the first person that really kind of like, before him, I wasn't a singer. I wasn't like, not really anyway. I always kind of saw myself, and whether it was on me or whether it wasn't, I was kind of like presented as like somebody's sidekick, right? Or, and Jimmy, like that's kind of how it always was. And so I didn't really have the confidence,
Right.
to kind of step out front and be out front. I was trying really hard to do it, but I had a lot of imposter syndrome with it. And I was like, I need to join something. I can't do this.
Right.
And he was one of the first people that was like, no, man, I want to be a part of whatever you're doing. Like, your songs, I believe in. You, I believe in. Everything that you're doing, I want to be a part of it. I want to do it, even if it was a little light. So Dave, thank you. I love you. And cheers to you, buddy.
Cheers to Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever wondered how you could actually help the show out? I mean, not just like listening and giving a 5-star review or buying a t-shirt or working
A little
with
bit
sponsors.
of extra zazz.
Yeah. Are you one of those people that likes extra stuff? That likes a little bit more? Can't spell extraordinary without that little extra.
Exactly. So if you like that stuff, if you want a little bit of extra bacon, like tasting shows and cooking shows and early access to episodes, I mean, shoot, you can't get any earlier than live.
That's true.
Every week we do our discussion and drinks live for our patrons over at patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
Check it out. Check out the tiers. See what's right for you. Help us out. We love you. Thanks for being a part of it. Remember to ask yourself, what's your bacon?
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, yeah, we haven't really talked about him per se. But the one time I actually hung out with him, because like we had been in the same circles,
right,
playing and stuff like that. So but you were too big of a rock star to like.
No, it's just a drunk asshole.
Yeah, like we didn't like, we knew each other.
Yeah,
but we never really interacted more than like, hey, good segment.
Right. Yeah, we good gamed each other a lot.
Right. The occasional pat on the ass kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Sick as Monday broke up,
right,
that we started like actually really talking.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like, well, that sucks because they were really good and like down the hall from us and everything.
Right.
So I would always check in and be like, hey, find anybody? Did you find anybody yet? So, but the one time I actually did hang out with Dave, it was, I told the story the other night, was when we did the pay-per-views at my apartment.
Oh no, that's Paulo.
Oh, that was Paulo. I don't think I've hung out with Dave.
I don't think you have. I don't think you have. Because it was when the band broke up, he wasn't around much because he had like shattered his heel.
Oh,
so he was like he had.
Oh, that's right.
Surgery,
that's right.
And
Zagel was filling in for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Zagel filled in for a while, and then and then it was it was like the band's done.
Yeah.
And that was me. I quit the band, so I'm not putting that on anybody else.
Yeah, I've been that guy.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
Yeah, there was definitely some friction in our friendship after that too for a while.
There always is.
And I understood it, and I it sucked. I hated that because I never wanted to do anything like that, but it was like one of those what I needed to do at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been that guy before, and there have been narratives put out there that I'm the asshole because
Right.
of whatever it is, like for me, there's been instances where I didn't want to have to fire everybody.
Right.
So it was just like, okay, I'm ready to
I'm gonna
clean
bow
the
out.
slate, start over. You guys can do whatever.
Yeah.
Like in the instance of, well, let's get into it. In the instance of LTOB, like for me, I needed to do something else.
Right.
I needed to go and do something else. And I even told them, I was like, you guys keep going. Like you find somebody or, change things, figure it out. But like, you have my, like, a lot of people go, oh, well, songwriters, once the songwriter is gone, like the band's over. It's like, well, I wasn't the only songwriter. So,
Right.
Nor the only singer.
Right.
So I was kind of like, if you guys decide to keep going, totally cool. Like I'm totally up for it. But instead, like, I feel like any bands that I quit, I'm the bad guy for a little while for quitting. And then,
I think that happens though. I
Yeah.
think that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know in my situation, the perception was, I think that I thought that I was better and that I thought that and everybody looked at it and said, this dude came from another state. Dave had all the connections. Dave had all the friends.
Mhm.
Dave packed out the shows, and which is not untrue. It's honestly not. I didn't know anybody. He did bring me into his circle and introduce me to everybody. And he was the draw at our early shows, I think the band and the music became a draw after that. But that was it was even proven a little bit false because when the first Craving Strange show, we packed the room.
Yeah.
But after that, we didn't. We had to build back up because there were a lot of people that were Sick as Monday fans that were mad at me, or they just weren't interested in the music.
Right.
They just weren't into it. And Dave is a personality. He's a showman. He's a personality. He's got, and he brings people in.
Yeah.
So I think that was, I can't even say, the only part of that perception that I could say was wrong was that I never thought I was better. I never thought anything like that. I just thought I got to a point where I didn't think there was any way to move forward.
Right.
And it was just going to have to be something new.
Yeah, I think,
and I didn't want to carry on as Sick as Monday without him.
Right.
So there was no option of, I'm going to not work with Dave and not work with Paulo or not work with Jimmy, but I'm going to call it Sick as Monday because Sick as Monday was me and Dave's baby from the beginning.
Right.
And then Paulo and Jimmy made it into a thing that we could present to people.
Right.
But yeah, so I think it's not untrue that I came in and got a lot from him and then left him hanging. And it's not untrue. I didn't mean for it to be that way. There's always perspectives and circumstances and things that cause things. But I know that he felt like I stabbed him, and it took us a while. It took us a while to get our friendship back on track.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did. I'm really glad that we did. I still run into friends of his that I haven't seen for a while and they cold shoulder me and I'm like, sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, so I have so many Dave stories, but that's one.
Yeah.
And I love you, buddy.
Yeah. I think what a lot of people don't realize with like a band breaking up and stuff like that, people go, oh, it's just a band and stuff. But like, it is really hard. It's family. Like
dude.
you're spending tons of time with these people all the time. And like, yeah, I mean, I'm mending bridges with a past band member too.
Yeah.
Somebody that, you know, was family, like legit family.
Yeah.
You know, and
Same thing
for
man.
a long
Same
time.
thing.
And it's like, man, we're just mending fences now after like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
You
Dave
know,
slept on my parents' porch in Indiana when I wasn't there. Like he visited my family.
Yeah.
And went there, you know. Yeah, when you talk about like family and stuff, that's absolutely what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's you know, I think when it comes to like the end of a band or the end of somebody's time in a band is, you know, band meetings are like, they're tough.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where how many band meetings can you have?
Yeah.
To try and write the course, you know, like I found myself frustrated a number of times with a number of projects where I was just like, I can't do another band meeting. Things are cool for 2 weeks and then have to have another band meeting again.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It's not fun anymore, and it's not moving forward. So like,
if you're also in your personal life in a very self-destructive type of place, or trying to get out of a self-destructive type of place, then it's also tough because everybody has to be moving in that same direction.
Right.
And Dave and I together were extremely self-destructive.
Yeah.
You know, but it also benefited us to be that way until it didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's and the person that's leaving, and I thought about this a lot when like when Matt quit Craving Strange and when Mike quit Craving Strange, and you know, the whole situation with Jimmy where he either quit or we asked him to leave, depending on who you ask. But you know, it was like he couldn't commit to what we were doing anymore.
Right.
So it was kind of like a situation where it was like there's no way forward.
Right.
You know, nobody wants this to happen.
Right.
But even in those situations, I had to remind myself, like, you know, they didn't come up with this right now. This isn't like I'm out right now. This is something that they've probably been wrestling with. I remember Tommy threw up outside before he came in to tell us that he had to leave. And he sat outside the studio for like an hour by himself first and agonized over it. And then 2 years later, gave me a note explaining everything, like the real behind it. That wasn't even, you know, and the reasonings that he did give were fine,
right,
and legit. So whenever somebody leaves a situation, it's not, I've never found it to be like, they're not like, oh man, it's better for me out here, so I'm out.
Right.
It's like, it's agonizing and it sucks and it's anxiety inducing. And it's like, cause you're like, not only are you taking a chance, not doing something that has been in some ways working. Right. But you're also, so you're saying like, okay, well, I'm going to get rid of all this goodwill that I've built up. People may not like whatever I do next. Nobody might care. It might take me too long to do it. You know, like all those things go in your head. But then also the biggest things are like, I'm letting down a person, this friend of mine. What's going to happen to them? What are they going to do if I do this?
Right.
You know, and you worry about all those things. And so it's never an easy move.
No.
I've never found it to be. It sucks.
No.
Absolutely sucks.
No, and I think, you know, in some instances, like you hit a point of frustration and you make that decision that you're like, okay, it's time to move on, it's time to move forward. But still actually like pulling the trigger on it
Oh yeah.
is very, 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 very difficult. And setting the scene the right way. And unfortunately I didn't get to make my exit the way I wanted to.
Yeah, me either.
Sometimes that the stars just don't align for you to be able to do what you had planned on. But
Right.
like, man, I had my exit mapped out for over a month, and I stuck around for over a month because I didn't want to let anybody down. As much as I was like, I'm done, I'm ready to move on, it was like, but we have things, and I know they really want to do them, so I'm going to gut it out for a little while.
Yeah, I definitely had the decision. I knew that that band was done months before. Like I had hit my limit a few times, and I had felt like I can't keep having the same conversation. I can't keep having the same conversation.
Yeah, the band meetings,
and it was like,
yeah,
it just sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. I threw up when I did that. I remember I called everybody on the phone, and the one thing that I even had in my mind, and this is true, and I've told Dave this, and I don't know if I've told Paula this, but I had in my mind, like, if I do this right now, and they all go like, well, I want to audition for whatever you do separately. They all say like, I still want to, then maybe we can salvage this.
Right.
And 2 out of the 3 like were hurt, argued, said they thought I was making a mistake, but ultimately just kind of like were mad and went with it. And Jimmy said, well, when are you holding auditions?
Right.
And Jimmy was in Craving Strange.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't even that I didn't want to play with them anymore. It was that like, we can't continue to do this way.
Right.
Someone's going to die. Like, so we can't,
right.
So, and that was like, that really went through my mind as I was like, okay, I'm going to do this today. Anybody that says, hey, I still want to play with you and be part of the next thing. So then I was like, okay, so maybe they're kind of in the back of their mind feeling this too.
Right. Yeah. Band dynamics is interesting, man. It's tough, and leaving something behind that you put your heart and soul into and work so hard to push forward and stuff. It's not easy to leave.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a necessary evil, take a giant leap back to make steps forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't unlearn the things that you learned in those situations.
Right.
And I learned a lot from every past band. If it wasn't for Sabaretto and working with Brian Speaker, I wouldn't even know how to be in a band for real. I wouldn't know, like, he had that, him and our guitar player Dan had that so locked down, where that's how I learned how to run rehearsals. That's how I learned how to be organized. That's how I learned how to book shows. That's how I learned how to be professional, like, and all those things, where all the bands around us weren't doing that.
Right.
And it was like, okay, this separates you. And then, with Dave and Sick as Monday, it was like, that's how I learned how to be a showman. That's how I learned how to promote. That's how I learned how to, be myself on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I learned how to, like, not be a game show host. That's
right.
That's where I learned, like, how to tour, how, like, brotherhood, like all that kind of stuff. Like that I was a transplant from another city and they became my family like this.
Yeah.
That was like, I would have taken a bullet for any of them at any time, you know? So that was a big thing. And also like working with Jimmy, then I learned how to record. I learned how to write better. And Craving Strange, working with Tommy made me a better musician.
Yeah.
Made me learn how to like structure songs better, how to be creative, how to, like all these things. You can't, just because the people are gone, their mark on you.
Yeah.
The bands are gone. The mark they make on you makes you better for the next thing that you do.
Well,
So,
that's the whole
I'm
thing.
eternally indebted to Dave and everyone.
Any of my bands that I left or anything like that, you take things away. It was a part of your life. It was a major part of your life, and you can't look back on it and be like, wasted time.
Yeah,
that sucked. Wasted time.
There's so many memories and everything.
I
was texting Jimmy from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yesterday because of us being on tour and going to the Rock Hall and being in there and like certain things we talked about and stuff. I was like, hey man, you remember being on the Rock Hall? And, because he's another one. That dude had an immeasurable impact on my life.
Yeah.
And now I talk to him once a year.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but same thing with Dave. It sucks. I wish I could see him more. I wish I could talk to him more. I'm terrible on the phone though.
Yeah. I don't like phone calls.
It's me. It's not them. It's with Jimmy, it's partially him. He sucks at being on the phone and meeting up and stuff. But it's mostly me. I know. I get it.
Well, guys, this was a fun one.
Yeah.
This was a little different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Went all over the place here.
Oh, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Always remember
we gotta check out.
Yeah, we gotta check out. I gotta pack.
Yeah.
All this stuff, I have to pack this stuff.
Yeah.
So guys, remember to keep your balls clean.
Indeed.
Remember to grill your ass off.
Grill your ass off. Right?
Drink some Wild Bills.
Have a drink while shaving your beans and grilling your ass off.
Yeah. That sounds dangerous, but
it does.
But capable, thanks to Manscaped.
Never shave your beans while grilling.
Yeah, don't put your beans near an open flame.
No.
But if you did, use the promo code BaconPod at Manscaped.com.
Yeah.
And
get some crop mops to cool it down.
And then also go to grillyourassoff.com. Use the promo code BACON. Get 10% off some rubs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put them on a freshly shaven beanbag, though.
No, don't. I mean, rub your beanbag, yes.
Yeah. But, Manscaped makes stuff like that. Yeah. Don't rub the spice.
Don't confuse the things you purchase.
Yeah.
With the bacon promo codes.
Yes.
They're not to be used together, but there needs to be an order of operations.
Yes. Yeah. So, guys, enjoy. We're gonna do a little first class. Maybe we'll do a little commentary.
Maybe
on that next week.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll let you know how first class goes. And thank you guys, Donna, Bill, everyone in the live crew, our Bacon Live crew over here on Patreon. Thank you guys for joining in for the live show.
Yes, thank you guys.
Hey, everybody, enjoy some football.
Foosball for the devil.
Starting today,
but it's past by the time this actually drops on. But to our patrons,
started last week.
Yeah, but yeah, and always remember to ask yourself.
Yeah, whatever, man. What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?
World peace. Hey guys, so remember how we were super excited to fly first class? Well, plot twist. We are here. What are we doing, buddy?
We rented a car because the flight was canceled.
We're driving. So yeah, first class. Driving in a rental. What's your bacon?
This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.